Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. All right guys, welcome back to another video. But today what we're going to be taking a look at is an experiment, a lab experiment, and this experiment is for beating rats only. Okay, this is a lab experiment that we put to the test today. And what we're going to be doing today, guys, is checking out tactics that you can use, and a specific tactics to beat 5-back rats, to beat FUT Champs rats, right? This is really what this video is about. Now, when we made the video yesterday, if you want to take a look at that, guys, we explained why the 5-3-2 is so meta right now. I showed you guys a breakdown of using the 5-2-2 and what works really well about it. But today, and even last week when I tried this formation, it is a very popular formation, but there's a certain way we're going to play it. And I want to explain, we're going to do our gameplay breakdown as always, and we're going to talk about players for positions that are really good. But today's video is going to be the 3-5-2. Now, there are a lot of pros using the 3-5-2. There are a lot of really good players using the 3-5-2. But there's just, the 3-5-2, it allows you to use so many variants of the formation. There's so many ways you can play your 3-5-2. And that's really why I want to bring you guys this video, because I want to find the best way to beat high-level players, to beat these players playing 5-back. So we played division rivals today, guys. We played 5 games this morning, and we won all 5. And we won all 5 by 3 or 4 goals, and we scored on average 5 to 6 goals a game. Some of you guys probably saw the Isak review on the channel. Some of those goals were from this experiment, but what we're doing is we messed around with a 3-5-2 this morning, and we really wanted to get the goal of seeing what we can do to make this work, right? What we can do, what we can cook up, what kind of players we got to use. So first of all, pressure after possession loss. I'm loving this tactic this year. I think this is a really good tactic. After your team loses possession of the ball, your teammates will press the ball for approximately 7 seconds. This will affect player fatigue, and your players could be out of position if you don't win it back during this time. However, right, when you're playing in delay, when you're playing somebody who's playing slow, this is what you need. You need this. You need to put this pressure on somebody who's trying to hold the ball, knock the ball around the back, these drop back rats. You need this. You need something with this. Constant pressure is not always great, because if you're doing constant pressure, your team is always pressuring, right? And what that means is that your opponent's going to be able to adapt to that. He's going to notice that, and he's going to be able to kind of deal with it. He's going to get used to it. But a pressure on heavy touch or a pressure on possession loss, really what this means is that your team is going to be buzzing at certain areas, but at sometimes they're not. So you're always going to have this variable against your opponent where they don't really know what's coming. They don't always know if they're going to get pressured. They don't always know if you're going to chill. So it hurts their momentum. And the goal of this is to always make your opponent uncomfortable. All right, so 3 width. Now, guys, on FIFA, I've never played less than 5 width ever. But I found this to be really effective. And the reason I found this is when you're playing the 3-5-2, it is such a wide formation. You guys can see the gap between the left mid and the center mid, and the gap between the right center mid and the right mid. And you also have a massive gap between this right striker and the right mid, and the right center mid. You have a huge gap between the left mid, left striker, and the left back. Or sorry, the left mid. So left center mid. So 3 width is going to make sure the team gets a little bit more inside. This is the standard 5 width. If you see the 3 width, it means that you're going to crunch a little bit more into a narrow sequence. But because of you need to do this because of the press after possession. If you play the press after possession on 6 width, your team's going to be buzzing and way too spread out, right? And the point of these tactics today are to try to beat people that are playing the ball and just holding the ball. 8 depth, right? This is crazy. Now, if you're going to play this, guys, you have to be a decent manual defender. 8 depth means you're going to be in people's face. You're going to be annoying. You're going to be like a bee that's buzzing in somebody's face. That's exactly what you're going to be. A buzzing bee and annoying the hell out of somebody who's playing this game. Offensive style, balanced is what we're going with, guys. Balanced tactic for the offensive style. Nothing crazy there. With at 4, players in the box at 4, you don't want to overcommit too much. And the reason why you don't want to make these too high, you're already on 8 depth. If you put corners on 4, if you put players on box on 8, you're not going to have a midfield. Your whole entire midfield is going to be in the box. So you don't want to do that because that's just too overkill. And, you know, you're just going to be too forward. Okay, so taking a look at the types of players you want to use in these positions, right? I would recommend a left mid and a right mid, right, that have good stamina. And either or, okay, the ability to defend or the ability to have good physical, right? So if we take a look at the 2 players that we have in these positions, just for this team that we put together, Kulusevski works really well, right? Because he's tall, so he's got a certain build in game already, and then he's got a decent physical at 84, and he's got 99 stamina. So this dude going back and forth really works well. He really works well because he also offers good passing and good dribbling responsiveness. And then we've got Rule Breakers Quadrado, guys. And Cuadrado's unique because Cuadrado doesn't have the best stamina or strength, but he has very good defensive stats, and he's fast, and he's got the ability to win the ball and then perform a 5-star skill to get the open space. That's also very important. To obtain that quick little open space, guys, is a really big deal. It's a really big deal to have that, right? Then for the center backs, you need to have fast center backs, okay, that are physical as well. Now, the middle center back could be a Boateng type of player. I have Cannavaro, Dalot, and Koundé, right? These 3 center backs work okay. Koundé is not the best. I think Koundé needs an upgrade now. I'm feeling like he's a little outdated. He's a little too slow now. I'm not in love with Koundé, but I did just put a shadow on him, and he feels a lot better. But yes, guys, these are the 3 center backs we're going with. And you're going to have to be a good manual defender with these guys. You're going to have to move around. Now, my midfield, I have 1 defensive mid and 1 proper just attacking center mid. That's kind of how I play. Also, again, you could still use this formation where you could use Mendy at center back, something like that, okay? And if we take a look at the instructions, okay, we want to have the cam on stay forward, okay? Now, a new tactic that I tried out today, and this is working fantastic for the formation, stay forward on both strikers. This is crazy because what happens is you start to create this gap, okay, where the center backs on their team can never really fully properly push up because your strikers are always holding that run at the back, and it makes for a really nice balance. So I really like to stay forward. I've never really tried it, and after some testing today, I really do like it. Okay, now the midfield, both these guys uncover center. We're going to go cut passing and to stay back on one of the DMs, right, to make sure they're a little bit more reserved. They're not going too crazy. And then on the wide players, we want to do come back on defense and get in behind on both of them. Now, what this is going to do is make these guys go box to box, okay, box to box, and also come back and help out because you're going to want to have them tucking in when you're getting countered to stop the counter, right? When you stop the counter, you can build out and push forward, okay? So 1 CM on cut passing and stay back, and then also we have you stay on the edge of the box for a cross. You can do this with one of the center mids or one of the right mids. I was trying it with Cuadrado. I think I'm going to go with balanced and keep it on Kulusevski because I liked it a little bit more in him. And then 3 center backs, guys, all on stay back. Really, this is everything it is. Let's get into the gameplay breakdown now, guys, and let's show you guys really what this formation is about and areas in which you can win the ball and then defensive sequences and why it works so well against 5-back and meta players. All right, guys, so we are here to talk about a little bit of the gameplay. And yes, these are my favorite tactics of the year. So I'm in love with these tactics. I'm happy to share them with you guys because I think they are the most fun I've had playing FIFA tactics-wise in a long time, man. So you can see here, the way the team is set up is, first of all, there's a lot of spacing. We got 2 wide players there. We got a left wing, a right wing. Everybody's forward. So you got a really nice setup when you're there, and you're going to have that nice area in the box to get that one-on-one. Now, the defensive setup is really nice because you're always going to have this triangle of 3 if you have your cam on stay forward up top to break out with. And that's really the nice part about it. And then you've got your left mid and your right mid. So here we've got Tory Lanez driving on the byline, and then the center mids push up. So you've just got so much support going on here that you can see we literally split his defense right there in a second. Now, we missed a shot because Pope is literally octopus legs. But, you know, the space creation is great, right? Like, so now we're pushing it wide. We can play it back into the middle, and the spacing is crazy. Look at the way that the opponent's defense is open right now, right? There's always options going forward, which is really a nice part about this formation. Pope gets crazy lucky again with a nut save. We draw a penalty and a red card, right? So you're always just creating stuff. Now, defensively, you have to be good manually. But what I love about the tactics with the center mids is the break potential, right? Look at how we're breaking here, man. And when you've got a right mid that can defend and get forward like Dest, he works really well. You could use Kulusevski, a lot of right mids in this game, right? And then we get Tory Lanez open. We do some shot canceling. And look, I did too much there, right? You can see the peak and the plus of this formation is playing fast, right? You want to play really fast on the break. And there you can see when they're breaking, we've got 2 center backs. That's it. But there's enough pressure to win the ball back quick enough that the lack of defenders, if you can start to learn how to kind of jockey with your center backs, it really is amazing. I mean, this is a much more attacking oriented formation than the 5-3-2. But in my opinion, the 3-5-2 is the best formation in FIFA right now, in my opinion. I think it's the most fun, and it's the overall just genuinely best general experience formation. Now, I think a lot of people are using the 4-4-2. I'm seeing a lot of pros still use the 4-4-2, but that formation is pretty much like a pro formation, right? It's a slower formation. It's a little bit less vulnerable. This 3-5-2 is definitely more vulnerable, but look at that, right? Like, look at the space creation we just had using this 3-5-2. Again, you could see we're using the wides a lot. You know, we've got a really fast, agile player out there. We've got a Cam who's always checking in. We've got center mids giving support. Delaney's our DM. We're able to switch it wide, I didn't make a great decision there. But here's how we defend on the counter, right? We've got 4 players for the opponent and 3 for me, but the right mid is now starting to track back. So what you'll see is I bait him a little bit there. I make him slow it down, and that's the goal of how you're going to be able to defend on this formation. You've got to make these people slow down. And you can see right there that we've done enough jockeying-wise to slow his Rashford down. In what looked like he had a goal, we're able to slow him down, and now we're breaking again here, right? And that's what's fun about this formation. You're just constantly going to be breaking. You're constantly going to be attacking, pushing forward. I'm scoring the most goals I've ever scored in FIFA using this formation right now. And it's just genuinely a really good time. But on attack, right, you have the ability to then, if you want to slow the breakdown, you can be slow and be patient, right? Like now, yes, he has players back, but we've got so many options here that we've got the ability to really slow it down, which is really, a big positive, guys. And then, doing a little bit too much there, I actually red timed that shot with Neymar, which is hilarious. But, and it was lucky anyways if I was going to get that angle. But here we go. Opponents, building out the back. We've got high pressure going here, right? Really high pressure. And we're making our opponent play fast. This is exactly what we want to do, right? Left mid drops in enough, able to intercept the ball. Now we're breaking again, right? 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And we don't like what we see. We keep it with Rainier. Haji gets a little bit of an opening here. We're just doing what we can to create the space. We go back to Neymar. We find Messi. We cancel our little bit of, I forget what that name of that skill is, but I love it. And look, goal, right? Goal. So we get a lot of space in this formation. Now we're using the ball at the center mids. We're playing the wide player. You can use R1 to actually get the wide player to check inside. Easy goal, right? Easy goal. A ton of one-on-ones you're going to be able to get in this formation. And then this is how we set up, right? You guys can see the shape, right? 3-5-2. The wide guys are coming back. But then again, right as Todibo started to go forward there, you could see that my right mid was starting to make a run, right? And the second that you start putting your left stick going forward with your attack, or whoever it is, your players are going to just start running forward, which is really nice in this formation. Again, using the wide player here, we try to pick out the angle. Tory Lanez doesn't have the best finishing, but we get the rebound and we get a nice little goal. So this is just some gameplay, guys. It's a very open formation, but it's a lot of fun to play. I think right now this is the best formation to play against if somebody's playing 5-back or if somebody is playing defensive. I've been working with these tactics for weeks. So thanks for watching, guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys in a video later. Peace. Love you guys.